Hello guys, hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to scratch the surface of Python strings. So if any of you have ever coded in C++ or Java, then you may have come across a character known as char. Well, if you don't, well, I will explain it a bit to you. Char data type is used to store characters. Well, characters are things which can be stored in single quotes in Python, sorry, not in Python, in C++ or Java. Well, in Python, there's no data type as char, but we have strings. Well, strings can be created using single quotes, double quotes, or even triple quotes. Uh, as you can see over here, I've initialized S as hello world, and that too in single quotes, Y as well as hello world. In double quotes and hello world in triple quotes. Well, we can use all these three quotes to define a string. Well, let's get back to the previous topic, that was character. Well, we don't have a character data type in strings, but a single character is simply a string of length 1. So if I were to initialize a string, let's take it as k is equal to single quotes, let's m. Well, this is a character. A string with length 1 is simply taken as a character in Python. So we're gonna just move on a bit further. I'm gonna execute these codes a bit now. Let's execute them. So as you may have seen over here, I've initialized uh, KSYN, but I have used different way of initializing them. I have used single quotes in S, in Y I have used double quotes, and in N I have used triple quotes for the same string, that is hello world. Well, when I tried to find the type, what's the type of the variable, what's the data type of the variable. So to find the data type of the variable, we use a keyword or function that's known as type. So over here I have printed the type of S, type of Y, or type of N. So the type of S, Y, N, all three types have the same data type, that is a string. So just a second, if I were to print the data type of K, let's try. Now let's execute this one more time. Yes, I'm back after executing the print type K. As you may see, what's the type of the variable K? The K variable is used to store a character. What's a character? A character in a string, sorry, a character in Python language is simply a string of length 1. Oh yeah, I've initialized K with within a single quotes and the alphabet M. So it too is a string, but we can treat it as a character when we are using it in during course of coding. Now we will be moving on to string slicing. So what is string slicing? String slicing is basically you're just trying to get a certain length of string out of the original string. So string slicing is basically substrings. Using string slicing method, we can create substrings. So how can we access a string? So it's very easy. We can just use brackets, square brackets to access a string. Over here, I've initialized y as hello world. So I'm going to show you how we access the string y and uh, basically do some string slicing on y. So over here, print one. So this is the first example which I've taken to explain to you this. So the basic syntax of a slicing is the name of the variable on which you're going to slice. That is, this is the name of the string variable name. That is y. I'm going to slice on y. Then start, end, and incrementation. Well, incrementation basically you try to hop from one index to another. I'm going to explain it into depth further. So it's just optional. If you were to leave it, it's fine. The incrementation, if you were to not type anything in place of that, then the default value would have been 1. So over here, I've initialized over here. So this is the first example which I'm going to use to explain you a bit of string slicing. So over here, in place of y, I have written nothing, and in place of end also of not, I've written nothing. So if you were to not type anything in place of this start or end, the start over here is just before this. The start resides just before this colon. So I have not written anything. Nothing before the colon, nothing before after the colon. So if you were to not write anything, the system is gonna take it as well, we are gonna start with 0. So if I were not to type anything in place of the start, then the default value will be 0. And in place of end, if I were not to type anything, then the default value would be length of the string minus 1. Oh, not like this minus 1, but you get the point, right? Yep, not 2, sorry, it's 1. My fault. So just to give you a quick reminder, we never include the end index ever. So in the third example, we have sliced from, so okay, let's take a second, fourth example. In the fourth example, we have sliced from index 2 to 7. So we are going to include 2, we're going to slice from 2 till 7, but we are not going to include the 7th. So in the fourth example, LLO, then W. So as you may see over here, it's 0, 1, 2. L is at 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The seventh index is 7. O. So we haven't included O. Just we have included. We have just written. We have just sliced till O. We have not included O. So over here it's printed just till W. In the fifth example, we're gonna in the fifth example, we're going to try some incrementation. So basic start. The start is 0. The end is length y minus 1. That's the end last index of the string. And we're going to, the incrementation which I've taken away is 2. So in normal incrementation, that is 1. We are not going to, in 1, we're just going to hop 1 place. So I'm just going to go back to this first example. As in the first example, the default value of incrementation is 1. So every time you move from the start to the end of the string, it's just going to jump once. So from H it jumps to E, from E it jumps to L. It does the jump till it reaches the end of the uh, index. So till the end over here, till the end. The end over here is length y minus 1. So let's moving on to the fifth example. In the fifth example, the start is 0, the end is the last index, and we are going to increment it by 2. So we're just going to hop from H, we hop to L. Where is the fifth one? Okay, from H we hop to L. From L we hop to O. From O we hop to W. Then R, and then D. Yeah, D is the last index. From there we can't hop on. It will just move up. Moving on to the sixth example. In the sixth example, we're going to start slicing from index 1 to index 8. We are not going to include index 8, but the incrementation is going to be 2. So the result which we acquire after completing the slicing is the sixth answer, which you can see over here. It just basically hops from which index to which. Just let me take this over here. It's too much of scrolling up and down. Okay, so in the sixth we hop from the incrementation is 2. So the first we start from E, and the end is we will hop till 8, 8th index, that is in this place, I guess R. Yes, and the hopping incrementation is going to be 2. So it starts hopping. The first index which it starts slicing is E, sorry, the index 1. So it resides at E. From E it jumps on to L, which is at index 3. From there on, it jumps on to index 5, then 7, and the last index is 8. So we are only just gonna slice till 8. Over here, we have got a few more examples. So over here, from the 7th example onwards, we're gonna do some negative indexing. In the positive indexing format, the index of h is 0 and the index of the last letter d is length n minus 1. So over here, the length is 12, and so the last index of the string is going to be 11. Sorry, my mistake. Over here, the length of the string is 11 and the length of the string is going to be 11 and the last index is going to be 10. So h is at 0. From 0 onwards, it does till 10. So d resides at index 10. But in negative indexing, the last digit d acquires the index minus 1. So from minus 1 till the minus 11, that's the length of the string. So the last letter is going to acquire the index minus 1, and the first letter is going to acquire the negative of the length of the index, the length of the string. So over here, the length of the string is 11. So h is going to acquire index minus 11. So in this 7th example, I've just reversed the entire string. So what's the start over here? Uh, start is 0. Okay, start is same, 0. End is same, length y minus 1. Over here, we're just gonna hop in negative way. The incrementation over here is not going to be positive, but in negative. Um, so it's just gonna hop from the last index, that is d, till the first index, that is h. So this slicing actually basically reverses the entire string. 7th one. In the 8th one, over here, as I have used negative indexing, so the incrementation is going to be minus 1. So when we are using negative indexing, the start is always going to be greater than the end. So over here in the 8th example, as you may see, the start is 10, which is greater than the end, that is 2. So just gonna move on to the 8th one. So on the 8th one, the start is going to be 10th, that is D. So it's gonna start from D and it's gonna keep on doing it till index 2. That's uh, the first L. It's gonna slice it until it reaches the first L. It's gonna reverse from the alphabet D till it hits the index 3, as we don't. Moving on to the 9th example. In this example too, the start is greater than the end. Minus 1 is obviously greater than minus 7 in a negative scale. So the start is minus 1, the end is minus 7, the incrementation is minus 1. So this is the result which we have acquired for the 9th example, the 9th slicing example. So it's going to start slicing from the end of the string, that is D. I've taken the start as minus 1, that is D, and it's gonna do it till it's gonna slice it till the index minus 7th, that is O. It's not gonna include O, but it's gonna slice it till O, that is it's gonna include the minus 6.